continue off our CO2 Safety and Partner segment, we will talk with B&R Compliance. B&R Compliance is a recognized leader for regulatory compliance solutions for companies throughout the gases, chemical, OTC drug, and food and beverage industries. They've really solidified themselves as an industry leader in compliance solutions, with over a lifetime of experience taking customers through the proper steps to ensure risk management, safety and defense plans, and quality assurance for their brands. I'm extremely honored and excited to be able to chat with Sal Calandra, President of B&R Compliance, who holds extensive experience in this space when it comes to safety and quality assurance. I can't wait to gain his perspective on all things gas safety. So today I'm excited to be here with Mr. Sal Calandra with B&R Compliance, one of our valued partners at CO2Meter, to dig a little bit deeper and gain some industry experience from Sal himself on the topic that we'll be discussing this month, which is gas detection safety. So before we get started, Sal, I did want to see if you could let everyone know just a little bit more about the company B&R Compliance and your role there.
Well, thank you, Morgan. It's a pleasure to be with you and CO2Meter. So B&R Compliance has been in business for a little over 20 years. Our focus is on providing solutions and peace of mind for our customers. We offer full service support in traditional health, safety, environmental, and quality areas. We have about 15 associates who work with B&R Compliance, and we're really focused on the gases industry as well as the food and beverage industry and some other industries as well.
Excellent. Thank you for that insight, Sal. So I think moving over to you yourself, I know you talked about all the different industries that B&R Compliance incorporates into, but I know that you have a pretty extensive background yourself in the gas industry, which has always been fascinating to me. But could you tell us a little bit more about your background and kind of your experience in the industry, how you got started in the role that you're in now?
Sure. I started in gases industry with a company called Airco. And my first role was scheduling bulk deliveries to our customers. That company turned into BOC. And then I started doing pretty much everything related to rail and rail logistics. So track and land leases, freight rate negotiation, rail car leases, really focused on the CO2 supply chain. And then in the early 2000s, I got involved in quality, where we started training drivers to test CO2 trailers. And then I was involved in a large project where we updated our non-conforming product procedures and really all our CO2 related quality procedures. And then over time, I was given additional responsibility for all bulk gases and from a quality and food safety perspective. I did that for quite some time, and then about 15 months ago I joined B&R Compliance. I had the opportunity to go to B&R as the president of the company. They were bought by Equipnet about 3 years ago. Equipnet buys and sells used equipment. We help our customers manage surplus supply of equipment, or we help them get equipment that they need.
Excellent. So it seems like you've been in the gas industry since you started.
I have been in the gas industry for quite some time.
So I know you talked a little bit on the training aspect, which I think is something that correlates really well with us just in educating folks, especially when it comes to different safety procedure when they're using these gases that are vital, but of course can be hazardous. I'd be curious to know, out of all the resources out there, is there any one resource or organization that you find incredibly valuable when it comes to directing customers?
So CGA, or the Compressed Gas Association, is focused on safety in the gases industry. So they have a lot of materials that are available to their members, but they also have free posters to help promote safety around specific gases and their uses. So CGA is very beneficial in terms of helping promoting safety in the gases industry, from not only from the industry perspective, but from the end user perspective. And I would encourage people to take advantage of those resources. There's also, B&R supplies training to our customers. That's part of what we do. So one of our bigger areas is healthcare installation training. And that training's really focused on helping the technicians who install bulk tanks at hospitals. So we're teaching them how to braze, and we're certifying them on their capabilities to ensure a safe installation at a hospital. Of course, when we're at sites, all of our associates are people who have a very strong safety background. So we're not just focused on the activity at hand, but we're also always aware of keeping people safe and the types of things that they need to have in place to ensure safety. Gas detection is obviously one of those areas that's critically important from a supplier or end user perspective. I also really like to see companies like CO2Meter who are educating customers about atmospheric monitoring. Pretty much all incidents are preventable, and it's such a simple thing, but a lot of people don't understand the risks that might be around them. And I think educating customers or users on the risks associated with the gases that they have in their process is a basic that really you can't do too much of. Many of the incidents that have happened in the industry are related to lack of awareness. So I think anything that anybody can do to raise awareness of those risks and mitigate those risks is important.
No, absolutely agreed. I'm glad that you touched base on the monitoring, but also the resource value that B&R holds for customers, because that was going to be my next point. Not these other resources that are great. I know we use CGA, and I know you're really incorporated too with ISBT and GATA, and we have all of these organizations that do provide tremendous resource. But for a customer that may have an issue, let's say, like you mentioned, risk management or quality assurance, what would a customer typically expect to gain if they were to work with B&R?
So customers who work with B&R have access to true industry experts in various areas. And really, I think the value that we bring to our customers is that they're companies that aren't big enough to have a full team of health, safety, environment, and quality professionals, but they certainly can use the support that we can provide. They still have to take ownership of those areas, but we work with them, and we help provide them guidance. We provide them procedures. We advise them on the activities that they should be undertaking to reduce their risks in their business.
So I think lastly, Sal, I know you've touched on a lot of areas here. You've given me tremendous insight as well, because I knew all of the different areas that you all work in, but not all the resources that you provide as well. If there was one thing that you would give to somebody in the industry, just in terms of safety, just one thing that they could implement and take home with them, what would that be?
I think people really need to be aware of the risks around them, whether it's a trip and fall hazard, whether it's atmospheric monitoring, whatever it is. Be aware of the risks around you. There's too many people that are used to the environment that they're in, and
Sure.
they're not aware of any previous issues occurring, so they don't view some things as a risk. But there really are some risks out there when you're working with gases, and they're all manageable as long as you're willing and able to look for those risks and then take action when you see things that might not be uh, implemented, or uh, the risk may not be mitigated as they should be. People sometimes just become numb to what they're used to, and they really just need to keep their eyes open and ears open and think about potential risks that are around them.
Awareness is key. We always say too to our customers, even though you can't see, smell, or taste it, doesn't mean that it's not there. And I think unfortunately in our industry, sometimes it does take, a specific incident happening for people to really understand, this could potentially happen to me.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think people just need to also be aware of the people that it has happened to. There's many examples of incidents that have occurred throughout the industry, uh, to people who maybe were customers of an establishment or employees of an establishment who suffered unfortunate circumstances as a result of their lack of awareness. So anything we can do to raise that awareness is important.
Critical. Thank you, Sal. I really appreciate you for taking some time with me today. I know that was a lot of information. It was super insightful for me. I think for anyone that's looking, to find some of these resources or just to get in touch a little bit more with B&R or yourself, is there somewhere you would direct them?
Anybody can call me anytime. I'm always happy to help. We also have a LinkedIn page. We have a website with our phone number and contact information. So really anybody can reach out at any time. I'd be happy to help.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sal. And thank you again for your time, taking some time out today to talk to us. Again, you are such a valued partner for us. You're a resource I always recommend others to as well. So we appreciate it.
Thank you, Morgan. Always a pleasure.